In this video, I'm going to be reviewing a product that I was actually pretty skeptical about from Takealot. It's a multi-function plastic welder that's for sale for 249 Rand. Here's some pictures of what Takealot supplied, and you're supposed to get the plastic welder and 4 sets of staples that's used to melt into the plastic. So on the product pictures, there's 4 types of staples. There's the large waves, which is suitable for structural welds, V shapes for corners, M type for awkward corners, and linear wave staples that's for some really light work. I'm not going to be going over too much of the description, but essentially it's a plastic welder that works for general use, as well as automotive plastic repair such as bumper cracks and so on. In addition to the welder and the staples, you're supposed to get the side cutters, and it comes all in a carry case. Here's a screenshot of the barcode if you're having issues with the link in description, so maybe it'll be easier to find and take a lot. After scrolling through the worst reviews I've considered, for 250 Rand, how bad can it actually be? The only thing I'd recommend if you're buying a plastic welder is you buy this bulk staple set, because depending on your project you might need quite a bit, because these are all consumables. So in the box there is a welding gun, different staples, side cutters, and a Stanley knife, which all in all fits into a carry case. At this point, I'm focusing on removing the bumper. The headlights must come off, and then we'll work our way to the bumper screws. But in a couple of minutes, the bumper is off. To my surprise, a big reason on what messed with the bumper fitment was that the tabs on the plastic cover over the radiator was broken too. This is very thin plastic, and it's going to be a really annoying part of the fix. As you can see, it's on both sides of the plastic cover. Enough of that, we can go to assessing the bumper now.
Okay, so as you can see is some of a crack over there, and then if we pan down here, over there, as well as out here to the side. So I'm gonna have to take the scroll out and then see how we're gonna stitch. We're gonna work away from outside, across and in, or just try and do main pieces and then go across.
So as you can see, this bumper is broken. And the cable ties was the only thing that stopped this bumper from falling apart. As I figured out how the repair will be done, I needed a better way to work with the bumper since I'll be doing it on my own. And as you can see, the bumper is nearly split in half. I mean, just look at the lower piece hanging. Since I didn't have help, I had to use cable ties to keep tension on the different parts.
Okay, so you can see now over here, I have cable ties on each spot. Busy keeping it together. I'm gonna run some staples down here and see how that goes.
Next up is the welding. The way I had done it was to put the staple in the gun, press the staple lightly in the area that I want to weld, making sure my fingers wasn't touching the electrode. Pulling the trigger to heat the staple up and setting the staple halfway through the plastic. Most of this is all just by feel, and you can see when it goes into the plastic quite a bit. Once it's in, I release the trigger and hold the gun in place for 5 to 10 seconds to let it cool enough to hold its form. Now I have some very shaky hands, but even this was a pretty easy task for me. You'll see at some points where the plastic is thin, I put my finger on the backside to feel if the plastic is flat, and I also used it to make sure that I don't feel the heat through it, otherwise I'll melt the staple right through and ruin the weld.
Okay, so now you can actually see how the staples went through, all the way through. And I actually test fitted the grill, and it's actually sitting quite nice. So the only thing that I picked up from this was that I had to make a mix of different ones. So these little wavy ones is actually really good for rigidity, and this is just for smaller ends and bits. And then over here, you can actually see I used other ones because this bracket itself was broken. I know this tabs here is too small, so probably gonna have to super glue that or something. But I did it on this side, as well as, let's see if I can show you, on that side as well. So far it's seeming like a success. We're gonna get now through to cutting all these tabs off. Just note if you're working on cars with this, it's very important to make sure the tabs don't go flying off because you don't want to puncture from the stuff. But what I basically did was, for some of the cracks, there was a bit of the PVC glue that I tried many years back to sort that. So just took the blade and scraped it out. So it's cut to a time lapse and you can see how long this takes.
Cutting the excess staples took a while, but shielding it with my hands helped a lot with keeping it from flying around. I moved over to the plastic cover of the radiator and I carefully cut the excess off of those staples, which was pretty sensitive areas. I did lose one of the legs of the staples when I was busy cutting it, so I found it on the paving at a later stage.
So you can see how the welds has come along. I cut all the tabs off. In certain areas there you can see it's a bit, how can I say, not the cleanest cuts, but I mean, the areas that you have to work with, it's not exactly the best, but I mean, you can do something about it, so I'd call that a success. Also, I gave the bumper a bit of a shake, which I'll show now as well. It's actually super sturdy. The newspaper they have covering the license plate is actually much more of a challenge. Let's just see. No weird noises or anything like that. So I'm calling this a success.
So at this point, it's just reassembling the car, but here's an unfortunate update. The car in this video was stolen a week later, so the next tour I planned on doing a long-term review didn't even have a chance to debut. But not all hope is lost. The E30 had some new problems come up too. I'd like to thank each and every one of you for the support I've received for the videos I've made so far. I've grown quite a bit, and as I make my way up to some pretty technical projects, the only way I can do so sustainably is through your support. So, thank you for liking, commenting, subscribing, and sharing the video. Enough of me, let's see how the repairs have come out. And that's it. For a 250 rand, I made the broken plastic bumper look so good. It was literal steel. Jokes aside, this Takealot plastic welder is absolutely worth it. Thank you for watching my video and joining me on my car journey. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you in the next one.